Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Can,
hi.
can we all be heard? Are we hearable? Well,
Yes.
welcome to this first episode or session 0 of Burning Wheel. I have a very special guest. Would you like to introduce
Hello.
yourself?
I will introduce myself. Hello. My name is Ace Kurayami. I am a Hellhound Escape from Hell and a variety streamer over on Twitch and YouTube. I am chronically ill and terminally online, and I'm so happy to be here today.
Yay!
Yay.
And I am KatNBows. I am the main GM over here on Trans XP TTRPG. I stream over on KatNBows and KatNBows everywhere. All right, awesome. I mean, are you even really a special guest anymore, Ace? You're on our channel so many goddamn fucking times at this point.
Well, technically, I am not on the channel yet,
Yes,
but soon.
you are still technically a special guest. We will see how that pans out in the later term. But anyway,
Hmm.
so this is Burning Wheel. Uh, I've told you a little bit about it. Or do you want me to just kind of go into it for like initially for the audience, or
Yeah.
do you want
Yeah.
to?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Go for it.
So, Burning Wheel is my personal favorite tabletop RPG. The basic construction of this game is you can basically play anything. You know, obviously you can be an adventurer. You know, you can be city born and then be a pickpocket and then you know and then a criminal or something, and then you start picking up like weapon skills and stuff like that. But the really cool thing about this game is think about basically anything that exists within a medieval society, and you can play that as a character. You can be a baker, you can be a blacksmith, you can be a courtier of the court, you can be a jester, and it handles combat and social interactions with the same severity of like consequence.
Mhm.
Silver, Grips, both of you. Let me know the vibe of the campaign, and I'll make overlays for it. We haven't fucking decided. That's the thing.
We literally just started.
Yeah, the whole point of this was I wanted Ace to go in with fucking nothing, and I wanted to talk about this system and build a character from the ground up because I think that would be fun content.
Hmm.
But you can, it. So you can do anything from political intrigue to like adventuring, and like another thing that this system does really interesting is fighting is legitimately dangerous. You can cripple your character for literal in-game months. Like a regular injury would in these times. And so like while combat can happen, it's very dangerous. And it's like yeah, it's combat can happen, but it's very dangerous. And so if you can resolve something with words or threatening someone, that's better generally. The whole, but that's kind of like the setting information and the type of characters you can play. But the main conceit of the game is your character's beliefs, instincts, and traits. Your character's beliefs are basically their goals. What do they want to accomplish? It's what you tell the GM what you're interested in. If your belief is my brother the king is a traitor and does not deserve the throne, I will overthrow him. That's a big belief. And that clearly tells the GM what you want this campaign to be about. And there's things you can get into for like optimization, like you want them to be completable so that you can get rewards for them. But that's all like minor things we can get into later. There's your instincts, which is what your character does on reaction. So you need to be like, whenever I'm threatened, I draw my sword. And this, whenever this puts the campaign in an entering direction, you'll get rewarded for it. So, these can be positive things, but also negative things. It's like always watching my back so you can't get caught off guard. But if you if you get threatened in the middle of the street and then you get surrounded by 10 guards and you have your sword out, that's a lot harder situation for you to talk yourself out of. And then there is your traits, which are basically things that your character is the most of. So, for instance, if you are tall, you are the tallest person in the room unless somebody also has the trait tall. These also have some mechanical effects, like there's ones that make your money more valuable and that gives you dice pools and things like that. Or various like die traits is what they're called. They will give you like mechanical benefits, like you have long legs, so you can, run faster. I think there's one called sea legs, and makes you be able to like not get seasick or like have better fighting skills on like a boat and things like that. But yeah, that's kind of like the basic introduction. There's a giant fuck off list of skills. Basically everything is a skill. I'm scrolling through some of them. And this is basically, it's very linear, or it's very broken down. So you have something like alchemy here. And that starts on a root of perception. That's like your roots is your base stats, your strength, dex, that kind of thing. They're called differently in this game, but we'll get into that. And your skill is alchemy. Now, you have let's say 2 dice in alchemy or something like that. And then you also have this thing called roots, which are forks, which are fields of related knowledge. So it's like, oh yeah, I have alchemy, but I also have herbalism. Herbalism is going to help you with alchemy because you know how to grab the right ingredients. And so that'll give you an additional dice. So you'd be rolling with 3 dice. And then I set an obstacle, and it's a bunch of d6s. You throw them. If you meet the obstacle, you succeed the test. And that's kind of the basic-ish overview of the game. I know I threw a lot of words at you. How are you feeling?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Okay.
I think I understand that part, I think.
Awesome. So, first thing we want to do is create your character. And so you're going to be going with the 4 life paths. So first, you have to have somewhere you're born. So what is kind of like the initial concept you have for this character, or do you have any?
I definitely went in with blind. So
Okay. I mean, I'm assuming you have this document open on your own page and like start scrolling around and seeing like all of the options that exist. Like you can start as a peasant and work your way up into the city, or
yeah.
I guess what setting vibes are you? Let's start there.
I definitely want to do like a village. Also, when I was peeking around earlier, when I look at stock, because I know you have it as man, but I didn't see wolf.
There is a wolf setting.
Man.
I would not recommend for a first playthrough to do this because things get a little more complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a bunch of. Also, there's some weird racism stuff that goes on. Like, for instance, dwarves are preternaturally greedy. That is their like supernatural stat that the entire race is built around.
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird. And then elves have grief. Or no, excuse me, elves... Is it grief? What is it again? Yeah, grief. And then if your grief turns to like... I think it's like resentment or something is how you get dark elves, and then resentment turns to anger, and that's how you get orcs. Because the orcs' main stat is anger.
Yeah.
There's also rodents, if you want to be a little rat guy, or trolls. But I suggest we stick with man for now.
Man works.
Just to keep things simple.
I know one thing that you mentioned during your one stream when you were playing Stardew. You mentioned a blacksmith, and that piqued my interest.
All right, so we can go like village born. Apprentice. Let me switch to male. Where is blacks? I know it's in here somewhere. Is blacksmith only in city? I know there is a skill called blacksmith. I'm just trying to find the. Here, let me fuck around with the settings. Enforce life path. This is just so you can look at everything a lot easier.
Yeah.
Bower, Buer, Butcher. Some peasant. This apprentice artisan. So there might not be. Yeah, there's just like journeyman, apprentice journeyman. And then there's like tinkerer. There's what's after journeyman? Armor. Like that's a basic path.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, that works.
Or but you can like be journeyman specifically, probably because I want you to start with 4 life paths.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you wanna?
Yeah.
You wanna do village?
Sure.
Or no, that's 3. Excuse me. So you can be village-born, apprentice, journeyman, armor. Does that sound like a good? You're just a.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, at 10, you got into or the apprentice blacksmithing, then you became a journeyman for 6 years, and then for 10 years you've been an armorer. So you're 34 years old
Nice.
in the game. But yeah, you started. So let me. Yeah, enforce life paths now. Go. So do you want to be born in the city? Do you want to be peasant, village, or city born?
Let's be village.
Village
Better,
born. Then there's apprentice. It's journeyman. There is a journeyman here. And then master craftsman also is another option.
Ooh, Master Craftsman sounds fun. Oh, I think I like Master Craftsman. The early riser's stubborn.
Perfectionist. And so
Perfect.
the way this works is you have to take the first skill of everything. So you would have to take mending, broken in, haggling, man-made, craftsman wise, and perfectionist. So yeah. So now, we can go down to will, perception, power, fortitude, agility, and speed. You have 16 points in physical and 8 mental points to spend, and then 1 that goes into either.
Okay.
So, there's something interesting. It's going to put you into hard mode, but I want to present it as an option for you.
Okay.
So, let me do something quick. So, there's this thing called grayscaling one of your skills. So let's say if you grayscaled your power, That's going to cost you 5 of your points. But every stat that is power based, which, funny enough, none of these are purely power based. I'm hearing Discord communications through stream. Okay, I turned on streamer mode, so hopefully that should stop that. But thank you. Yeah, like blacksmith is agility power. That should shade that, I thought, but I guess both of them have to be. Yeah, so that would be insane. Shading power and agility, but anyway, so normally you roll 4, 5, 4, 5, 6 is a success, 1, 2, 3 is a failure. When you grayscale something, it's 3, 4, 5, 6. And grayscale is kind of like supernaturally powerful. And then there's something called white scaling, which basically means you have godlike power. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a success.
Damn.
So the thing is you take a massive hit. Let's say I have to distribute it. All of these are 4. You know, that's an even split. Let's say you grayscale your power, and then, you know, that's how many points you would have. You would have 4, 2, 3, 2 or something. You know, that's just a random spread. You can decide however you want to spread it. I'm going to highly recommend that you put at least 2 in each, because that makes you so that you don't pass out immediately if you get, like, poked. But like it's a significant point. When you have 16, you're sacrificing 5 of them. That's a lot. It's something you can do if you want to. It is an option, and it's essentially kind of provides more scaling in the end game. You know, like, but you'll be less powerful in the beginning.
Yeah.
I think it's fun, but, you know, how do you feel about it?
I mean, if you say it's fun. Yeah, because I'm looking down, and it says agility and power for blacksmiths, so I probably want to make those my highest.
Yeah. Like you could go 6, 6, 2, 2, and that means that your agility would start at 3, or your blacksmithing would start at 3, because it's basically you take them and then you divide them by 4, I think, when they're a mix of them. Essentially.
Yeah. But you said I should have like 2 in each, right? If we did it
Minimum of 2 of each. So your speed and fort would be 2. So you're quite frail, you're quite slow, you're very agile, and you're very powerful.
What about will and perception?
Will and perception is a different pool. That's your mental pool. You have 8.
Oh.
So grayscaling these would be even more like brutal.
Yeah.
I would not recommend that. Yeah, I want you to put your points where you want to. You know, I can be a bit of a min-maxer. You can spread it out evenly. You can min-max it a little bit, however you want to do. But essentially, every even number means your skills will be going up base at above 1.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's generally good to keep even numbers if you can.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then you have 1 point to spend in either of them. Because you got Journeyman gives you +1 mental or physical.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got +2 physical from Master Craftsman and +1 mental.
And then what are the Mortal Wound, Reflex, Heal, Steel, Hesitation, Strike? What is that all?
So your Mortal Wound is this is, if you look at this, the tolerances down here, this is going to be basically you need to take a level 3 wound to get superficial damage, a level 5 wound to take light damage, 7, so on and so forth. They need to roll that many successes roughly to deal that kind of wound to you. And so like, and then they obviously can stack. So if you get several light wounds, that eventually will become a mortal wound, or midi wound, or a severe wound, or a traumatic, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And basically, the more fort and power, I want to say it is, yeah, the higher this goes.
Ah.
Your reflexes is based on your agility, pretty much.
Yeah.
Agility and speed. These are like base stats. Your health is your fort, and I think it's just fort. Yeah. Yeah. It's just that will depend on your mortal wound and stuff. These are all like derivative stats that will do things in the game that do what they say they do kind of on the tin. You will be rolling health whenever you take a wound to see if your body heals from it. Your steel is how easily you are to be terrified. Your hesitation is basically you're rolling your steel against your hesitation to see how many like beats you wait before acting. Your stride is how quickly you can walk. That's very inside baseball. I'm not going to go into it too much, but most humans are going to have a stride of 7. Resources is how much money you have. That's your money stat. Circles is your circle of friends and people that you know. And so, like, if you want to create an NPC and be like, hey, I need somebody that knows how to do X, you can roll your circles and be like, oh, yeah, Jim down the street knows how to do X. He and I are buddies, and we go way back. I put, whatever, I put hooves on his horse or whatever, something. I don't know. And he owes me still, and so he owes me a favor or whatever, if you roll well. And then if you roll poorly, that character gets created still, but y'all either hate each other, or you think that you have a good relationship, but they're actually feeling super petty about you or something. There's a bunch of fun stuff that can happen if you fail circles tests. And then there's going to be some questions for health and steel that can modify that up or down.
Yeah.
That I'll ask you once we get to it.
Yeah. So right now, because I was messing around, how does will 4, perception 4, power 6, forte 4, agility 5, speed 2?
Okay, I like that. That's a really good split.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, that's good.
All right, so I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Does your character live in squalor and filth?
A blacksmith profession. I mean,
He's a craftsman specifically.
He's a craftsman, so it's definitely gonna be messy.
But squalor and filth?
Squalor and filth, that's like way worse. No, I don't think you would.
Is your character frail or sickly?
I'm gonna say no.
Has your character been severely wounded in the past?
What? Yeah, let's have something fun.
Have they been tortured or enslaved?
I'm gonna say no.
Is your character athletic and active? I think pretty clearly.
Yeah.
And then my favorite question. Does your character live in a really clean and happy place? Like the hills and the sound of music?
No. No, he does not.
All right, so because that evens out because you're athletic and active, but you got a bad leg or something. I don't know. which is
Yeah.
something we can take if you want.
I just imagine like something happened. He was like,
Mhm.
like went during his apprentice era.
Yeah. Like, yeah, there are lots of maims and limbs and stuff I can give you if you want. All right. Your character has been severely wounded. Have they murdered or killed anyone with their own hands?
Hmm. Could have a dark past. Ooh. Sure. Yeah.
More than once?
Yeah. Let's be a little spicy.
All right. Your character has not been tortured, enslaved, or beaten terribly over time. Have they lived a free life free of Have they lived a sheltered life free of violence and pain? Clearly, no.
Yeah.
Have they been raised in a competitive but non-violent culture? Sports, debate, strategy games, or courting?
Oh yeah, always striving to be the best. Oh,
Yeah.
I can imagine so.
Yeah, you think
Oh,
so?
look, he's just taking out competitors. That's why he's killing so much. He takes out like competing blacksmiths.
God, you're going to the county fair and just taking out the fucking competitors. That's fucking your character's fucking insane, dude.
But yeah, he's competitive.
Okay.
Whether-
Does Mpreg exist in the world, and has your character given birth?
No, he has not given birth.
Oh, does
Whether
Mpreg exist?
Nah, I'm gonna leave that up to you. You can surprise me.
All right.
Uh, everything comes back to Mpreg.
It always comes back to Mpreg. All right. So now we're at your skills. So all of these ones that are highlighted here are ones that you have to take because they're a part of the first line of your backstory, basically, of the things. But you have 14 points here and 6 general points. We'll get to the general points later, but I want you to spend these 14 points first on all of the list that's here. Of course it does if it's in the same world that we initially created. Oh yeah, Ace, I forgot to tell you, this is the Omegaverse. No.
Oh god.
That's the secret plot line is you're going to turn into an Omega. No, I'm just kidding. Or something.
Secret plotline. My character is actually really nice, and he's only killing like alphas that like take advantage of omegas.
All right. So yeah, which one of these would you like to take?
Oh, definitely.
Obviously,
Well, out of the
Blacksmith we
three,
said.
or-
You can
yeah,
take
Blacksmith
all of
definitely.
any of the ones that are like not selected, you can take.
Okay. But definitely blacksmith, which I think is already.
Yeah.
Read. Oh, that's. I misread read so badly in my
so-
head. I was like, "What is that word?"
If you do not take read and write, your character will not know how to do those things.
Oh, I definitely want my character to at least know how to read and write.
Okay. And like to be clear, the only time those things will be tested if like you're in like complicated situations, like you're trying to write a letter to like the Craftsman Guild to try to get in or something like that,
Yeah.
Or like reading, like trying to interpret a work of literature would be a read to test or something like that. You don't have to roll those dice every time you try to read and write.
Yeah. I would imagine he had to learn how to read and write so that he can take down orders.
Mhm.
Like custom orders. Or if you ever had to like order anything from a merchant or something.
Have I gone into Wises for you yet? What Wises
I
are?
don't think so.
All right. So
That didn't me.
Wises are basically the knowledge of things. So, like, if you had the skill sword, you would know how to use a sword. But having the skill sword wise would mean you know a bunch about swords. So you know about like tang and proper balance and, you know, what metals they're typically made of, or like, oh, this sword is from this era and was used by this army for this
Yeah.
reason. You know, it's like this is an encyclopedia thing, and they're really good and easy to fork. It's because like knowing about your tools will make you much better at using them and things like that.
Yeah, I feel like definitely as a blacksmith, I feel like it should be tool wise.
Yeah, and so yeah, wises are just like knowing about stuff, knowing about your tools, knowing about the materials you're using is really useful. Definitely,
Yeah, that sounds good.
materials wise, you want to take. Do
Material-wise, yeah, yeah.
you want artisan wise or appraisal?
I think a bit of both, yeah.
Okay. Carpentry or cooper? Oh, thank you for the follow.
Thank you for the follow. What is Cooper?
Cooper, it's certainly a type of. Let me look it up quick. We have the book for a reason. No, not cooperate.
A barrel maker. I don't think that's the actual. I googled it where you had the book up.
Yeah. A cooper uses iron, wood, and wax to make barrels, store wine, grain, and other sundries as necessary.
Okay, so
yeah, as we said, this game gets very linear, or like very into the grain.
literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can probably pass that.
Do you want carpentry?
I feel like carpentry, yeah, because like when you make like the handles and
potters.
stuff.
I don't know how to make pottery.
I don't think I need to know how to make pottery.
Tanning. Tanner.
Tanner's like working with hide, right?
Yeah, hide, leather, that type of thing.
That might be good to know.
Okay. So you're kind of a generalist?
Generalist, but I definitely want to use probably my remaining points to like buff up
Blacksmithing?
like blacksmithing and
Yeah.
what's another one that would be good to buff up craftsman wise?
So the wises will get used, but typically for forking, not so much for like what's the word? You won't be rolling them as much, and the wises you only get additional dice from forking when they get up to 5, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm not saying it's not useful to do it, and I'm not telling you not. It's just the likelihood you're going to roll them is less.
Yeah.
So blacksmithing, you have 5 points left right now.
Yeah, so definitely upping blacksmith.
Haggling, mending.
Those were the
appraisal.
haggling, mending was part of like the 2 that were like you had to take, right?
Yes.
So haggling might be good to have.
Yeah.
Let's put another point in haggling.
Just so you don't get screwed over.
Yeah.
Talking about your craft and stuff.
Now, mending, what does it mean in this context, like for this game?
Let's look it up. Mending is a useful skill. It encompasses knowledge of the form and function of everything on the farm. The skill allows people to fix, repair, darn just about everything. Mending fences or socks, making household repairs, mending stuff broken on the road or at work, mending something badly broken, mending armor, lightly damaged and stuff. So it's just like...
Yeah.
Putting stuff back together in...
Yeah.
It's like fixing things with not so much like direct skill. I think it'll probably be more of a fork. But like if your mending was higher, you could like roll mending to fix this piece of broken furniture
Yeah.
And then you can fork in your carpentry. So but it would have to be used for things that are broken specifically, not so much
Yeah.
creation out of whole cloth.
Mm-hmm. I feel like mending, I'd probably put a point into.
Okay.
An extra point.
You have one more.
Mm.
It's also appraisal.
I
I don't know how much you want to get into like the mercantilism in this campaign. Is that something you're interested in?
I don't know much about mercantile, but I think it could be fun.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll do appraisal. We'll put the last point in appraisal.
So now you have 6 general points.
Mm-hmm.
These are this is essentially everything you learned on the job.
Yeah.
General points are basically things that you do other ways in your life. So very basic skills that are generally applicable. Persuasion, one of my favorite is what is it called? It's ugly truth, which is just pointing out making fun of people, but in like Jab's way. It's the classic point of the jester. It's like, me think the king cares about this too much, or something like that,
That'd be funny. You know what? Yeah, let's put ugly truth there.
It's like reading people to filth.
Yeah. That's funny.
Also, my thing is way smaller. That's about even size, I think. There's things like accounting, and I think there's one for like business running. Could be useful.
Business running would definitely be.
There's administration, which I think is skill of running a business or organization.
Yeah, that'd be good.
The skill is primarily used to recover taxed resources. Do you want a bit administration?
Yeah.
Do you want to be able to use a weapon?
I should probably be able to use the weapons that, I forged.
There's there's counterfeiting.
No, he's too pride in his work. Too much pride in his work.
Throws VGen request at Silver Cat Boy. Oh, whoa. Engineering. Games of chance, gambling. You can also just come up with wises. So you could just do blacksmithing wise, or to know about things about blacksmithing, or
But wouldn't that be a mix of the craftsman and material and tool? Wouldn't just knowing all those?
It is
I know it
that.
doesn't inadvertently, but
It is that, but it's also knowing about techniques and it's knowing
true.
about it's what you would read about in blacksmithing school, whatever that would be.
Yeah.
It's about technique and the fire needs to be this temperature to be able to achieve this
Okay. Yeah.
type of thing.
Then blacksmith wise.
It's also just a really easy fork almost always. And for reasons, having lots of forks are good. Hello, Sanguine Starry is Happy New TTRPG. Yes.
Island. Yeah, I definitely want to know how to at least use the weapons that our character creates.
what type of weapons do you make? Because there's
Probably
all
like
sorts.
yeah. Dude, is there like a term for like general
No, every single
battle?
weapon has its own.
It's its own. God damn it. Let's specialize in like. Is there like a battle axes
There's
or
axes.
axes?
You want to axe people a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also have like cat screaming at me in the background.
All
All
right, so we've added 4 skills so
Oh,
far.
probably a hammer would make more sense.
Hammer? Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Does your character like to get hammered?
Who knows?
There
to
is a drinking stat.
Oh my, that would be so funny.
Makes you good at
does it make him...
specifically. It makes you good at drinking competitively. I think.
Dude, that might work. I might change the axe to a hammer and then put the drinking in.
Skill of getting drunk and not showing it.
Yeah, let's do drinking. Oh, I have one more point if I keep the axe. Okay, let me find. Let's see if there is hammer.
There's hammer. I added it for you.
There is. Oh, you added. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so I think that
You want drinking? Do you want persuasion?
Yeah.
It's okay if you don't.
Persuasion might be better than drinking.
It will, if you want to convince people of things.
Yeah, persuasion's probably better than drinking.
So I have administration, blacksmith wise, drinking, hammer, ugly truth, and you have one more point if you want to keep that drinking.
Oh, hold on. Okay, you got rid of axe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then drinking and then persuasion. Yeah, that works.
It's just one of those it's good to have.
Yeah, persuasion's always good to have.
It'll also be really helpful with haggling. You can always
Yeah.
look for that for haggling or whatever.
Yeah.
That'll be useful. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your list of skills. If you want to look at any of these and adjust any of your things up or down,
Mm-hmm.
you can. Because, for instance, hammers are, funny enough, an agility weapon, which feels wrong. I guess.
Well, I guess it depends on the hammer.
There's mace as well. That's power agility.
Yeah, because the mace is like the big hammer.
Yeah. Their axes are power agility. Most weapons are power agility.
Yeah. I mean, I have good power agility, so...
Mm-hmm.
So we could switch hammer for mace.
I don't think that puts your stat up higher, but it's just something to... It could be dex, just depends on how the size and how you use it, I suppose. Yeah. So the main stats are will, perception, power, fort, agility, and speed.
Yeah.
Agility is your dex, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we would ever reference D&D in one of my games, because fuck D&D. D&D can go fuck itself. It's a terrible fucking game. You can clip
What's the
that
game?
and put it on the internet.
We'll keep hammer.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's good for that.
Yeah.
What am... Oh, good. Okay, there we go.
All right, so you have 2 die traits currently that you have to take. Broken in. The apprentice is stripped of his pride and ego. The player must remove any life path traits related to pride or status. Noblesse G's, for example. You don't have any of those currently, so that's fine. Made man. A craftsman is always in demand. A good craftsman always look out for another. A 1-die affiliation for being a journeyman craftsman. So, affiliations are basically social groups that you are a part of in your village or like the surrounding area kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a part of the group of craftsmen in your little area, and that you have an affiliation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that'll help with your social rules essentially.
Yeah.
You also have a list of a bunch of life path traits from your life paths you can take. That those will
Mm-hmm.
automatically always cost 1. You
Yeah.
said you liked early riser.
Early riser would be good. Yeah.
Do any of these other ones sound interesting?
Stubborn sounds good.
Stubborn, okay.
Like stubborn. What's geometric?
Stubborn makes you. This trait adds 2 die to character's body of argument that contrives with one of their beliefs. So that's a fun. Geometric. I think geometry is the mother of invention. Forget what the other guy says. This trait gives you 1 die to any skill that uses mathematics or measurements.
Mm,
That's pretty good.
that is good. I look at the special traits. Sorry, the first the first two. uh That's so funny. Oh, is it not showing you the special traits?
Let me. Why is this not working?
Oh. It's all good.
Go less than 5.
Yeah, it's not showing
gonna.
you.
I'm not gonna bother reloading, unless there's
Yeah,
one you
no.
wanted to add.
No. I was just looking at it.
All right.
Early riser, geometric, and stubborn seem to be good.
Okay. Which one were you talking about though?
Oh, the first two that I see is a little crazy and a little fat.
Yeah, there's very good ones.
And I just like that those are the first two, because then you get into,
Mm-hmm.
other
All right.
ones.
So, resources. This is all of your points to spend on your possessions and your property and things like that.
Yeah.
There's a couple things I'm going to suggest you buy. Clothes and
Yeah, that's fair.
shoes. You have to buy shoes in this game.
Yep.
Traveling gear. Any interest in that?
Yeah, that'd probably be good. Traveling gear. Guild toolkit. Would that like
Writing and reading need one. I
really?
have a list for these. Let me see. Do you want to list me off your skills? Do you have? Were you filling it out with me at the same time?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Okay. Administration. Appraisal.
Give me a second.
Artisan. Oh yeah, sorry.
Admin does not. What was the next one?
Appraisal.
I don't believe appraisal has no.
Okay. Artisan wise.
No. Doesn't need a soul kill to.
Blacksmith.
Blacksmith does, and it's a specific thing. Called. It's not a. It's a property. You need a workshop.
Property and then workshop. Okay.
Yeah.
So just gonna add that.
Yeah. Blacksmith is a tool workshop.
Okay.
Yeah. Next.
Carpentry.
Carpentry also needs a workshop.
Okay.
But I will let you double up. I think that makes sense.
Yeah. Drinking.
Drinking? No, it doesn't need any. No. Like,
Gotcha.
obviously, you need the alcohol, but it's not. You don't
Yeah.
buy a toolkit for it.
Yeah.
You want to-
Haggling?
Haggling, no.
Hammer.
Hammer, you need to buy a hammer, but I think I will allow you to use your like a workshop hammer. It's not going to be like a weapon.
Yeah.
It's not going to be designed for weaponry,
Mhm.
which will give you some negatives unless you want to buy like a proper like weapon for a hammer. You can,
Yeah.
but if you want to just pick one out of your workshop, that'll be fine. But it won't be like
Mhm.
give you any bonuses or anything.
Yeah. Mending.
Mending, I think, has a toolkit. Yes, and it's expendable. Which means that every time you use it, you have to roll to see if it'll break.
Mhm.
So what I like to do for toolkits is I'll do like just call it add custom gear as the same price and go mending toolkit. Just so you remember what it was.
Mending. Okay, and then add.
Yeah, I found this worksheet earlier, and this is super useful.
Yeah. Is the toolkit the skill toolkit?
Yeah, still, it's going to be 8 points.
Yeah, mending toolkit. Add. Okay, there we go. I got it correct this time. Okay. Persuasion. I
No.
don't think it needs anything. Read.
No, but writing does.
Writing does. Okay.
If I know how to spell. Which I don't. Oh, no, it doesn't. What?
Oh, does it?
I swear that feels wrong. Yes, the worksheet was wrong. So, that's for, like, proper letter writing. You know, like, if you want to just, like, make a sign, you can use a piece of wood, you can use the wood or whatever, and, like, if you want to have, like, proper parchment to write letters to people, and, like, an ink and quill and everything like that, that's when you need a toolkit. If it's, like, on a scratch piece of paper, I don't know. I don't think I'll make you spend a whole toolkit on that.
Yeah.
But if you want to, like, write proper letters and seal them with, like, wax and whatever the fuck, you know, that's a writing toolkit. I don't know how much.
Well, let's see if I need any other toolkits.
Yeah.
Or anything, because I have Tanner.
Tanner, if it's a workshop, and that'll count. You already have one.
Yeah.
Workshop, you have one.
Okay, workshop. I don't think
And that's
Ugly
everything,
Truth
yeah.
needs anything. Yeah, and it's right. Okay, then yeah, let's get a little writing.
So, I also want to make sure you buy a house.
Oh, that's fair. I could just
So
use-
there's a cottage industry, like a weaver. I think you should probably get that, right?
Okay, that works.
There's also small business, but
well, if I have a workshop,
the workshop will count, but you want to have like this will like count for like an area for you to live above your workshop or something. The workshop's just a
okay.
space for you to do the workshopping, nothing else.
Okay, touche.
Like you can live it. I'll let you live in your workshop. It's just going to be there's not going to be a bed in there.
Yeah.
You know.
We'll put the property
Like
cottage industry, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that will leave you 15 resources. Assuming you don't want to buy a boat.
How much is a boat?
What kind of boat you want to buy?
I just need like one so I can go collect like supplies if needed. So
There's a rowboat or a skiff for 5 points.
feel like a long boat would make more sense. That is like
Do you want you living like near a river or something? Is that the idea?
I guess so, yeah.
You have a boat for transportation for various things.
Maybe a rowboat makes more sense. Let's do a rowboat.
I'll probably call it a
A little
skiff.
cheaper. Skiff, yeah.
Um,
Okay, and then I still have enough for
we lost you
writing.
for a second.
Oh, you lost me. Oh, like in total? Like oh. Oh, okay, yeah. That's so weird.
We still live?
I think it's just my end, I think. Let me look. Pow, 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 pow. Oh, we are not live, I don't think.
I re-invited you. I'm restarting up the stream. Go away. Hello? Are we good?
Oh yeah. I think
Yeah, I see
we
us.
are.
Yeah.
Yippee.
All right. Sorry about that. Oh, dares to pupper.
Yeah.
Dare you
There I am.
once again.
Oh well, you get to see my full body.
Well, if you want to see the whole body, you got to go to patreon.com now. All right. Yeah, no. I don't know what happened there, but let me make you a little bigger. Well, that's too much. All right, I think we're about even now. No, I need to recenter you. Lock the models. All right. All right, sorry for that interruption. So, there's also relationships you can buy, which basically people that you have personally. There's affiliations, which like with the groups you have, and then there's reputations, which are things that you have reputations for.
Crazy. You gotta buy. You gotta buy relationships.
Yep. Gotta buy everything in this game. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah. I wanna. Too bad there's no like general. Cause I wanna have like a good reputation at least for like blacksmithing.
Yeah, you can take a reputation for a local miner reputation and the best blacksmith around or something like that. All right, you got 3 points.
Is there anything that costs 3 points or less?
You well, so if you want that writing toolkit, you could get rid of your boat. But you could. But if you want,
Yeah,
the boat,
I feel like
that is going to be more useful. A writing toolkit.
because it's like if I get a writing toolkit, you know, I can send letters, whatever, to get things delivered to me. But if I have a boat, then I can get.
All right.
No, let's keep the boat. The boat's fun.
All right. Do you have any sailing skills?
Oh wait, that's so true. I don't think we
I
have
mean, if you want to
any
take
skills.
away some of these skills and get some sailing skills, you can.
Yeah, I should probably get a sailing skill. Um,
Let's see. What else is there?
should I get rid of? I don't know which one to get rid
Ooh,
of for the
extortion.
voting. Extortion. Oh my goodness. Boat right. Boat right is.
I think that's like
technically
making
voting.
boats. Is it?
Hold on.
I don't think there's a sailing specifically. Let me.
Oh yeah, builds boats. Okay. You know, with somebody who actually has a boating license, I should probably know this.
There's rigging, which I'm sure you know is for ships and not anything else. Winky face.
Yeah.
Seamanship.
Oh, seamanship. Yeah, that makes sense.
Cover all the basic knowledge and skills and short of actual sailing necessary to survive on a boat or a ship. Sewing, cleaning, mending, shipboard. Oh no, that's not what you want. Short of actually sailing.
Damn. Ship management would be it. How is it not seamanship? That's so shipwise. That's knowing about ship right. She's a ship right.
See, the thing is, the game breaks everything linearly, so like.
Filter. That's not there either. Yeah.
Let me look through the life paths.
I'm surprised it's not seamanship. Could be ship management doesn't sound right either.
Where's our seafaring? So there's pilot, I think is what we want.
Crazy to call it pilot. I'm gonna be honest. I never heard the helmsman of a ship be called a pilot. Me going to check if they actually have helmsmen. No, they don't. Okay. Because helmsman would have been no right term.
Basically, it's called pilot because this way they don't have to have it the same thing for piloting like a cart and a ship. Because while the game does like to get that linear, they didn't this time for reasons.
Crazy.
So yeah, pilot I think is the one we want. Let me check.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's like so many terms they could have used. They could have used like helmsman.
Yeah, pilot is the all-important crewman who guides the ship through the storm and calm. A good pilot can course through the most terrible gale, piloting into a large port. Yeah. There's also navigation. There's a lot of skills that to do with seafaring is the thing.
Well, that's fair. We'll just do pilot, but I gotta figure out which one get rid of.
Yeah, using charts and stars, currents, and navigator safety guides to safety guides his ship from port to port. True navigator always allows the ship away from the coastline into open sea without becoming hopelessly lost. But you don't need that.
Yeah. I think the only one that makes sense to get rid of is drinking, which is so sad.
Don't worry, you can still be a drunk. You just won't be good at it, so you'll get drunk more often. You can still take place in drinking competitions, you'll just be bad at it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so we'll get rid of drinking and put it to pilot.
Okay. There's also something to be said about you have a lot of perception skills.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly because you have a lot of wises. I'm not suggesting you make
pretty
yourself less
brave.
willful because that makes you easier to like manipulate, but it is something to consider. If that is something you want.
I mean, if I lower my power by 1 and then raise my perception, then that is that more rounded, I guess.
I don't think that'll work out for you.
Okay. Eh, We'll keep it how it was before. So like, yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm not.
sure.
I don't. I'm not saying that your skills are in a bad place. I am just throwing my thoughts into the wind and seeing how you feel about them. Because having low will can be very bad and can be punished.
Yeah, we really
Means
don't
that you're very easily to persuade to do things.
we can't have this stubborn man be easily persuaded.
Exactly. He's stubborn. He shouldn't have low will. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What can you get for 3 points? You can get a companion animal. You can take finery for 5. You can take a bad weapon. You can take a poor quality hammer.
Quality hammer.
But that doesn't make sense for your character. Also, you
Yeah.
could just be like, yeah, I'm going to make myself a warhammer. You have the skills for that. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
So you don't need to buy one at this point.
Oh my god, I could have like a dog or a cat. Just a cat in the in
You
the
can
way.
you can also something you can do with the relationships. If you make them more messy, they cost less points. So if it's a forbidden romantic,
Oh, but that could be fun. Adding some romance, forbidden romance. Oh, what type of like? I don't think I have enough for it still.
well, if you want to go,
Oh, romance is -2 and then forbidden. Okay, so how much? Rivals?
hit 4 rivals with a significant, that puts it down to 5. And if you go over by 2, I don't care that much.
Yeah. It's like,
So who is this
forbidden.
significant romantic partner that is forbidden and you guys hate each other?
what? I'll leave that. I want it to be definitely romance, but I think I'll leave it to you. I don't want you to surprise me of who this potential like.
Well, this is your character. I want you
It's
to.
like, oh, okay.
That's the whole point of making a relationship is you get to decide what this is.
That's so fair.
That's why you're spending points on it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you don't have to make it rivalous if you don't want to.
It's like,
You can just do a minor romantic forbidden, and that'll be well within your points.
could it potentially eventually become significant?
I mean, the person could become significant if they roll well. Yeah. I don't know.
I kind of like
what is your idea if I make them significant? Pitch me why I should let you spend these extra points.
like enemies to lovers stuff. I was like, ooh.
If you want enemies to lovers, who is the important
Yeah.
person? Is it like the head of the guild? Is it like a prince or something?
Oh my god! Imagine it's like some type of like special nobility or whatever.
It's like
and like somehow they get
the king's fifth
intertwined
son
with
or something.
yeah. And they get intertwined with this like this like stubborn
Stubborn,
stubborn
sweaty,
blacksmith. Yeah.
the stubborn, perfectionist blacksmith who is broken in.
Yeah. That'll be fun. Oh, that'll be fun.
All right, I'm down with that. Enemies.
Enter description.
Uh,
And two lovers.
I'm just gonna put the prince's, the king's fifth son.
The king's fifth son.
Because he's not like that important, but he's significant. He is nobility.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all hate fucked once. And he keeps coming. And he keeps coming every couple months and you hate fuck again.
I sense a tiny pattern with characters. Versus Kane and Fang. Now it's this character and the fifth prince.
So you'll have to give this guy a name. And I'll burn him at some point.
Oh, what do you mean?
That's what making a character is called in this game.
Oh, so like burning a CD. You just burn a character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't worry, we're not doing anything bad.
I was like, damn, I don't even know him yet.
Don't worry, you didn't take the arson skill, so. Do you have a name for this boy?
For the blacksmith?
Yeah.
What's a very what's a good name? I'm always so terrible at names.
We can come up with this later.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna create this as a PDF. We have all your stuff.
Wow. Oh wow, it's already in like a sheet.
Yeah, this character burner is super awesome. So.
Dude, I don't know if it's because I'm so into Epic the Musical, but like the only name that I'm thinking about is like Hephaestus.
Hephaestus is cool.
Hephaestus is cool.
But yeah, we can pop open Roll20.
Yeah. I know you downloaded the sheet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, you want me?
I'm not able. Yeah, can you send it to me? I'm not able to send the relationship thing. And then would I be able to take 2 seconds to run to the washroom?
Oh my god, yeah, we'll take a commercial break here.
Commercial break.
Except I don't think this channel is running commercials, but yeah, we'll be back in like 5-10. Bye.
Self-care break.
Whoa. Oh no, you're
And-
gone again.
Oh, really? I thought. What is happening? Oh,
I have resent it to you.
I think I have to close Steam. It's like connection to Steam servers have failed. What is
Weird.
happening? It wouldn't be a VTuber stream without some scuff.
It's gotta have some scuff.
VTube Studio, you wanna open VTube Studio?
Maybe?
Unable to sync. Warning, Steam was unable to sync your VTube Studio say. Okay, that's fine. Just open.
Of course, it is Tuesday. That is true. We are having the weird. They like to restart on Tuesdays.
That's fair.
I don't know how the other disconnect happened. Where the stream crashed.
Yeah, no, I know.
If there was no scuff, it wouldn't be real. Exactly, Tencel. Thank you. Okay, yeah. Lovely. I can't relate, 'cause I'm a singer. Ace, talk.
Yapping, me yap.
Can
Does that happen?
can he be heard now, chat?
Can I be? Why won't it let me join?
I see you've joined.
Really?
Yes. On my end.
Oh, okay, there we go. Finally. I mean, it probably also doesn't help that like I have like a million one things open.
Maybe.
Yeah, I have studio. I have an animation. I have a model. I have like
Look at this.
I have Steam open, PDF open, Discord open, million one tabs open.
Oh God. The collab crashed again. All right, we're gonna go back on the break. We'll be right back. back to live.
Okay.
All right. Sorry for the scuff, chat. We're trying our best over here. All right, so we've made your character, and the next thing I kind of want to focus on here is your beliefs, and your instincts.
Mm-hmm.
So, what does this character want to accomplish? What do they believe in? Also, you've come up with this character. You can go to the first page, character info, and then it'll have your beliefs and stuff listed out there.
Yeah. Oh, I can also change his name here.
Yes.
We have come up with a name.
What is
hold on.
what is your character's name?
My character's name is Conrad Boris. And why can't I edit this thing? Let me edit it.
I don't know, chat. What's a slutty name? It's a good slutty name for this fifth son of the prince.
Yeah, what's oh my goodness. Why can't I change? Let me. No, I don't want to add a comment.
Should
PDF. Let me look.
be able to edit it. You're not able to edit the character sheet?
I'm not able to edit the character sheet.
I've given you permission.
Do I? Let me like close it and then I'll reopen it. Okay. PDF. Okay. Open. Okay. Open.
Yeah.
Uh.
Are you trying to edit the PDF or you're trying to edit the Roll20?
Oh, it's on Roll20. Let me go to Roll20. I was doing the PDF. Oh, there we go. Ah, there we go.
Ace, can you say something again?
Yeah, this is me yapping. I think I spelled Conrad wrong. Who knows? Well, that's how his name is now spelled. Conrad.
I'm thinking of
Um,
Michelle something. As your boy toy's name. Michelle.
Michelle.
Michelle is a good slutty name. Don't you think, chat? Do you have any other ideas for a good slutty name?
I can't say that. I was gonna say, yeah, Silver.
Silver is a very slutty name. You're so right.
I was like, Silver's not here to defend themselves. Like,
I mean, he was earlier. I think he's in the chat. Look, we can slander. We can slander him.
Slutty names.
Yeah, Silver's in the chat. No, we don't. Let's focus on the beliefs. Let's start there. That's more important than us coming up with a dumb slutty name. Thank you.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
my thought is, my initial thought is, you have been tasked to make something for Michelle. You're supposed to deliver it to the castle.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
I think there's gonna be there's like a soiree for his birthday.
Ooh,
And you've been invited as an artisan to craft something for him.
Ooh, that sounds good. Okay. Okay.
So maybe we can make a belief about that. What do you want to do at the soiree?
At the soiree. Because the beliefs is like uh what the character
They're your character's
like.
top three priorities in play. The
Okay,
general beliefs like God and country are boring. These are
yeah, yeah.
they're not general beliefs like God or country. They're explicitly stated drives that directly tie into the world setting. Example of beliefs must be: I must serve the Ethar that I might be redeemed for my crime. I will protect my friend's sister at any cost. When sculpting your character's belief, think: what do I want of it? What do I want out of this character in this situation? How can my beliefs reflect that? Then shape your character's beliefs to reflect those priorities.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely think one of the beliefs is that he wants to be like the best blacksmith there is.
Okay. What is step one of becoming the best blacksmith?
Getting involved with the uh
I must impress the royalty
yeah.
at this soiree. Okay.
Yeah. Royalty. How do you even spell soiree?
Fucking no. You're the person who you're the one who speaks French.
Yeah, but I'm dyslexic. Hold on. How do you spell soiree? Ah, that's how. Oh, I'm so happy that you extended geese. Voila. Soiree. Soiree. Okay.
Okay.
I must impress the royalty at the soiree.
So it's not just about becoming the best, it's about being recognized for your talent.
Ooh, yeah, I like that better. Being recognized.
Because if it was about just being the best blacksmith, you would just work really hard on increasing your skills, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But you want recognition on top of that, I think. What else does this character want to complete? What else is important to him?
Stubborn old man.
Not that old.
Wants to... I know he's not that old. I mean, he made it to age 33 in this era.
Martyred his way there, that's for certain.
Yeah. Wow, I'm surprised. Like I can't think of very good goals for the character.
Well, I mean, we can discuss what else is going on in the world. Is there any wars going on? Like, obviously, we live on like a river or something, like a large body of water. Like maybe they're like a little bit of an archipelago kind of thing, or like maybe it's like a Venice situation. So everyone has like a little bit of a boat or a transportation method.
Well, I just like usually cities or villages that are like on the water usually have like a higher um financial standing, I guess, because
Yeah.
like
Certainly
merchants
in
and
more
stuff
common times, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
I like that this is a kind of a Venice situation, a little bit,
Venice, what that could be fun.
and that's why everyone has boats. That's why you have a boat.
That's why I have a boat. Yeah. Some fun like late night boat trips with the fifth prince.
Well, it wouldn't be on your
Sneaking
boat. It'd be on something much fancier
I
than
mean, maybe
your
he's sneaking out. Who knows? Maybe he wants to.
riffraff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, wants to be a great blacksmith. What else does he strive for? What does he believe in? I'm gonna look back at the. Okay, so he's apprentice a journeyman.
Well, he's a master craftsman technically. Does he want to
Yeah.
move his business into the city? You know, the more of the proper city.
Oh yeah, because he's in the village right
He's
now.
currently in a village. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? He wants to expand his empire.
Yeah.
I can imagine he wants to expand his empire so that he can peacefully retire.
Damn. I didn't know your character was a capitalist. Damn,
Oh,
I guess
God.
he's the villain.
Oh wow.
It's okay, making it unlikable NPC characters isn't exactly what Burning Wheel is for.
No, yeah, sure. We'll do that.
I mean, if the game is all about getting what you want and working towards what you want, that tends to produce characters that lean on this more selfish side.
Yeah. Well, I can imagine he like grew up with like the beliefs of like you got to work hard so that you can just retire
Yeah.
and enjoy like retire. But how he's gonna expand his blacksmith empire? I guess it starts off at the soiree.
Well, we already have a belief about that, but you know,
Yeah.
are you gonna try to? You're trying to impress them, you know, or are you trying to like secure, you know, financial backing or something, or maybe like
Ooh.
obtain enough
maybe.
resources to expand my business or something. I don't know.
I think at the soiree, maybe he's trying to not only impress for recognition, but also maybe it's like one of those like what is it called? Like when there like a bunch of people are like it's like Shark Tank.
Yeah.
When like you're showing off things so then you can get like a sponsor
Yeah.
or
I mean, ultimately, these are very similar, which is fine. But we want to, because like that all still sounds like one belief a little bit, you know, like
that's true, right?
it's kind of all wrapped in one. Is the only thing. Like, we don't want two beliefs to be able to knock out through one roll, you know.
True. Okay, so let's think of one that, well, I mean,
Unrelated
if
to the
maybe
blacksmithing stuff.
unrelated to blacksmith, maybe he does want to find love. Maybe our boy Conrad, you know,
What is this? What are his feelings on love?
yeah. What I can imagine him being stuck.
I mean, yeah, you could have your belief that love isn't real. It would be more
Yeah,
what we call a fate farm belief, which is like you have no real way of completing it, but it would be good for getting like rewards in game and stuff.
Yeah,
which is fine.
I can imagine maybe like he doesn't believe that like he can be loved.
Oof, that's a mood.
But then, you know, this fifth prince.
I imagine they're like just hooking up, and there's not a lot of like it's very loveless, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very a physical relationship.
True. But who knows? Maybe it changes.
Maybe.
Or maybe maybe he does fall, but because he doesn't believe he can be loved, he doesn't like try to pursue it necessarily, but like is pursuing it without like pursuing it. uh. Okay. I should probably put romantically. Okay. Police 3, not relating to blacksmith or romance.
How does he feel about the political situation going on? Does he have any thoughts or feelings on that? Does he want to affect that at all? How does he want to bring?
How does he affect it without being a capitalist? um. Hmm. Hmm. It's weird because like obviously if there was like war and stuff or like
Or do you have
like,
somebody that you're
battles.
trying to like pettily get rid of or something like, or maybe something about these murders that you've supposedly committed?
Oh yeah.
Why do you keep committing murder? Who have you murdered and why?
Like he's just like slowly taking out like competition.
I mean, that sounds like an instinct to me. Always
to
get rid of
murder.
always get rid of the competition, one way or another.
The competition. That's how you spell it, but that's fine. One or another.
I mean, you don't have to go for that, of course.
I'll put it there for now. Yeah. Why did he murder? I keep forgetting that the Megaverse is real in this.
Is it? It could be. If we want it to be. I don't see why not. I think it's fun. I enjoy the Omegaverse.
Yeah. I mean, did it like Silver confirm that like in the world?
Well, it's not to be clear, Burning Wheel does not automatically include the Omegaverse.
Yeah.
We were just what Silver was talking about is we were planning a Burning Wheel game for Trans XP TTRPG at some point. And we discussed the world having ABO elements.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Makes sense.
saying that world is the same as this world necessarily.
That could be so funny though.
Hey, I'm not opposed to it. This is a
don't know
completely
how-
fresh new slate, you know?
How do we need to take an Omegaverse test, but like I'm playing like as if like I'm playing as Conrad taking the test to see how he lands as a alpha, beta, or omega.
I don't know. That's up for you can do a test or you can just decide.
So funny. I think I know the answer, but that'd be so funny to take the test. I feel like you'd be. I feel like Conrad would either be a beta or an alpha.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking of this prince as an omega, probably. A very demanding and demeaning omega kind of vibes. Cannot believe you would say that.
How dare you?
Is my snooty gay man voice good enough for you, or is that just weird?
That's good. I'm laughing. Yeah.
I don't have feelings for you, baka.
Not the baka. Also, I keep fucking like rolling back in my chair. Like
You're
I hope
fine.
it's not freaking the bottle. Oh my god. Where? Oh, how do I put? I'll put it beside his name. I'll put Alpha.
Well,
Okay.
that means you're gonna get some more traits. That's for certain.
Yeah.
Well, because basically whatever social class you're part of and whatever type of person you are gives you traits.
Yeah.
Because like
Mhm.
racism and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
in
that's
this
true.
society, is alphas are X, Y, Z, and you know whatever. Well, we can add those off screen probably.
Yeah,
Once
yeah,
we,
yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything else that you want to add?
I want to like add a belief that like is like a fun. Like fun with the game, but I just can't like. I can't. I can't thunk. My brain is empty, but I can always come back to it, I guess.
Yeah. Do you want to
Yeah.
let's go down to your instincts. Good instincts are a good way to start writing instincts are like always, never, when, if, then statements, things like that. You know,
Always, never, when.
if then.
Okay.
You know,
If then.
if blank happens, I do blank. You know,
Okay.
always stand up for yourself against bullies, or you know, something like that.
Yeah. You know what? He may be a stubborn man, but I want him to always stand up for what he think is right.
Always stand up for what you think is right. Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to be good things, but you know.
Yeah, that's why I love it.
That definitely seems like a stubborn person.
Yep. And maybe sometimes it's getting rid of the competition. I'll give him one good trait. I think he'll try to give back to those who have lesser than him.
Okay. That sounds. Give to those. Always give to those in need, or something like that.
Yeah.
As long as they're not fucking blacksmiths, and then get the fuck
Yeah.
out of the way. That's funny.
It was so funny though. I definitely think he'll be like a great like master to an apprentice. Apprentice.
Maybe
But it's like,
that's
kid, you
your
can't
another
defeat.
belief. Acquire an appropriate apprentice.
Okay, yeah. Acquire. Acquire. Oh god. Hire. There we go. And approve. An apprentice. That's not how you spell apprentice.
Alright.
It's okay. I can read it.
Reading is good.
Oh. Cool.
So yeah, that's kind of the basics here. Is there anything else you wanted to go into, talk about, or does this seem like a good starting point for here?
I think this is a great starting point.
All right, awesome. Let's. Do you want? Shall we find somebody to raid?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions?
Let me see. I have, some. I have a native VTuber that's streaming
Oh
Kingdom
yeah,
Hearts right now.
let's go say hi.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on, let me send you. But I'll put their at in. I'll send it to you. You know. But yeah, they're playing Kingdom Hearts.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's give them a warm welcome.
Yep.
Our raid message. Do we have this set up here? I don't think we did yet. Yeah, no. This is a raid. Put your hands where I can hold them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mavis is a cool native streamer. They've recently got nominated for a BIPOC Streamer Awards.
Awesome.
So very cool.
Yeah. All right. Go say hi, everyone. Thank you for hanging out. Yeah. Make sure to follow all of our channels and stuff. We should be doing this roughly every Tuesday around this time. Ideally, as long as work bullshit doesn't get in the way.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you so much. And we'll talk to you soon.